Hello, and welcome to the State of the Books, the monthly show where the correspondence team at the Cup of Chamomile household discusses all the latest happenings regarding the expedition into the mountain of unread books, though there may also be discussions of other happenings occurring at the main base of operations. So join us, the correspondence team, as we discuss the State of the Books. We still need an official theme song. Somebody hire a music team. As of September 1st, the state of the books remains very stable. 29 books have been read so far this year, which means 3 books were read in the month of August. And we are very happy to announce that all 3 were 5-star reads. Yay! This is a very rare precedent, and to celebrate, the expedition team threw a party involving lots of cheesecake. You thought we were gonna say spaghetti, didn't you? Unfortunately, the mountain of unread books gets very cold even in the summer, and nobody in the Cup of Chamomile household likes cold spaghetti. Yeah. It was a very unorthodox party, considering the expedition team spent the entire month at the bottom of a well in a Tokyo suburb, and if you know wells, you know they can get cramped. The expedition team also reported multiple bird sightings and people who can communicate in dreams, with multiple members corroborating the claims. We at the one-person correspondence team can only wonder just what kind of being the mountain of unread books really is. Whether this is a ploy to keep the expedition team from reaching the summit of the mountain of unread books is currently unknown, but honestly, we would not be surprised. This brings us to the designated highlight of the month, which is the expedition team finally finding their way out of the well on the evening of August 23rd, though multiple members suspect that the presence of the well is a side effect of encountering the Wind-Up Bird Chronicle by Haruki Murakami on their travels. But first, a word about the book. This is a fiction novel about an unemployed man who has to search for his cat, and then his wife, and comes across a whole host of strange folks in the process. Some of them help him find his cat, others talk about stuff that happened to them in World War II, either directly or indirectly. And there is a reason they talk about that stuff. There is a lot packed in this book, which is probably why it took me a month to read, but it is a very compelling read nonetheless. There are a lot of interesting things in this book, including, but certainly not limited to, face-licking, parallel worlds, haunted property lots, and women who can enter other people's minds. Which brings me to my next topic, which is the sort of surprise addition of a strange supernatural element that I wasn't really expecting when I started the book. At least 3 of the characters have, I want to say, some sort of supernatural power or something vaguely resembling that, 2 of them being a pair of sisters. One can find lost things, and the other, as I said, can enter people's minds. It is a little easy to get lost because of how much is in this book, but I would recommend giving this a try if it seems like something you're into. As of September 1st, 1 book is currently being read, and that book is Blood Scion by Deborah Falaye. This is the first book in a YA fantasy duology about a girl who has to hide her fire powers from the ruling Lucis, and in a twist of irony, she's conscripted into their army on her 15th birthday. It does have quite a few hallmarks of YA that I'm sure we all come to expect, such as the main character having to hide her powers and all those other things. However, we at the Cup of Chamomile household would like to mention it's not a matter of the presence of the tropes, it's how you use them. That being said, this is a very enjoyable book so far, and a very intense one at that. Certainly no shortage of violence, among other things. Right from the first page, we're shown a world ruled by violent oppressors from another land who like to stroke their own egos and pretend they've done nothing wrong, while ruining everything for everyone. Particularly for the Scions, who are descendants of the old gods, and are portrayed as villains by the Lucis. Thankfully, for those of you who think they may need a content advisory, there is one at the beginning of the book. And always remember, colonialism is cringe. You can expect an update in next month's State of the Books, when hopefully I will have finished this book. Unless something happens and I put it off for a whole month. Ha ha! Can't be me, right? The current goal for the month of September is to read 5 books, a decision recently reached by the organization team at the Cup of Chamomile household. The organization team carefully analyzes every single trend that occurs on all levels of the one-person production team, and monitors all progress on the expedition into the mountain of unread books. The TBR for this month is currently unknown, though the organization team has reached a consensus that shorter books should be prioritized in order to reach this goal. The mountain of unread books grows larger every day and is constantly changing shape, so the expedition team recently put in a petition to change strategies. This isn't an entirely new strategy, as earlier this year the organization team and the expedition team agreed to start each month by tackling the shortest book first. This has been met with relative success, though there have been several instances of books being carried over to the next month, particularly larger books. I can only imagine what will happen when the expedition team finds the largest book on the mountain. All in all, it has been a slow-going, somewhat uneventful, but also eventful state of the books. As we draw closer to the reading record previously thought to be unbreakable, plans have already been made to throw a party for everyone on the Cup of Chamomile committee. There will probably be lots of spaghetti. Yeah, that wouldn't be a surprise, let's be real here. With that said, the state of the books for the month of August gets an 8 out of 10. The goal for this month was 4 books, but the fact that I encountered some very good books seemed to counteract the fact that I didn't quite reach my goal. With fall fast approaching, we at the Cup of Chamomile household are anticipating some wonderful and fantastic reads. And hopefully no bad books. Emphasis on hopefully. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for sticking around. As with last month, leave a book emoji down in the comments if you made it this far. If you want more book talk and art and quality shenanigans from me, make sure to like and subscribe and spread the joy of books. And yeah, thanks for watching! With that said, the state of the month, what?